Hello everybody and welcome to Noel's Big Family Life. If you're new around here, I'm Noel and we are a large family of 10. We are debt-free and we plan on remaining that way. Part of being debt-free is sometimes you're down to just counting your change. And you really just need to tighten your belts. Things come up maybe that are unexpected. For us, we had, if you watch our vlogging channel, you would already be aware that we have our oldest, William, just moved in, which brought us to 10 people. On top of that, we had Luke at the hospital, who's our autistic 7-year-old. So we have some hospital bills coming in. On top of that, my car has been at the shop now twice and it's continuing to have some issues. And my husband's about to work on that again. So things just happen in life. And the budget has to forever kind of change as far as what you can control your spending on. And what we can control spending on is groceries and things like that. So we are going to do a 6-week challenge. And we thought we would share this with you guys because it's that time of year that maybe people are needing to tighten their belts because Christmas and Thanksgiving and things like that are coming up. And you don't want to be in debt, or you just really are having things happen one right after another like we are. So we are going to spend $600, and that is it for the next 6 weeks for our family of 10. That includes diapers, toilet paper, hair care, food, anything that we would buy on a routine, regular basis. If somebody were to get sick and need medication, I would not count that because that's something that we would not routinely buy or use. We just had to get the amoxicillin or something like that this one time. So other than that though, everything is included in this. So what we want to do is to help share that with you guys and maybe help some of you that are also tightening your budget, or you know, maybe you can refer back to this if you have a hard time in your life. And we are going to share with you daily then what we are eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and dessert. My family loves dessert. I include dessert almost every night. That will not change just because we tighten our belt. And I will also, though, share with you what I get at the grocery and my meal plan, how I plan on using what I get at the grocery. I'm not going to the grocery right now. Probably this weekend I will. So I'm just going to kind of wing it. I don't really have a meal plan in play. So for the next few days, you're just going to see what I come up with. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to write $600 up on the budget board. That would equal about $100 a week. I could spread it out that way, but I am not going to. I am just going to have the $600 there. And I will deduct from that as I spend. And, you know, when it's gone, it's gone. And that's it. So I will have a daily video up for you for 42 days. And if any of you want to jump on this challenge with us, then feel free to jump on and tighten your belts with us. If you have suggestions or ideas, any of that, leave it down in the comments below. You guys know I love your suggestions and ideas. This will not be back to the old full day of meals though. When I started the full day of meals a while back, and since then Large Family Love has started doing it, and there are a few other channels I think starting to pick up on that now. I combined vlog and food, but I have since separated it because I feel like if you really just care about the food part, then you need to be able to just see the food. And those that really care about the family and have become part of our family are over on the vlogging channel, and they get to see us daily and just share life with us. So there's no food over there, the food's over here, there's no vlog over here, the vlog's over there. So I know that's a bit much for some of you, but it's really helpful for those that don't want both. So if you do want both, you will still see me on both channels now every day for 42 days. And then we'll see what happens from there. So also, if I don't label things vintage, for those of you that love vintage, most of what I cook is vintage. It's cooking from scratch. Most scratch cooking is a vintage style of cooking. What I call my cooking Bible, I got when I was 20, and it is actually a Better Homes and Gardens from the 60s. So before I even got my book from the 50s and started with all this labeling things vintage because it was just fun, I was always cooking out of my 60s cookbook. So it was always been, or I was just kind of winging it and making up my own thing. But it's always been vintage, just not labeled that way, if that makes sense to you. And as things get tighter and tighter and tighter, you better believe I'm going to turn back to the old ways of cooking where not so many ingredients were used. Like definitely I'm going to go to my Great Depression cookbooks because they have where if you don't even have an egg, you can still make cakes, and you can make cakes without, milk, and just so many things that we can learn, I feel like, from the past. There's so many things that we can learn. And that is why I am still incorporating vintage as well. So those of you that are hating the vintage, I apologize, but really I've been doing vintage all along, just not calling it vintage. So yeah, sorry, my hair is like blowing in my face. That is what I wanted to just kind of roll out to you. Also, comments real quick. I get a lot of comments about my family does not eat enough. We are healthy. We eat a ton. For us, we are grazers, so I will show you our meals, but I can't physically capture every second somebody grabs some peanut butter on a spoon, or they grab some fruits and vegetables, or they make a sandwich, or grab some dry cereal. Things that they love to just grab. They grab and eat constantly. So when we sit down to a meal, yeah, 4 chicken breasts will feed my family of 10. They just will. You gotta remember, that's technically 8 people eating, not 10. Because Luke eats what Luke eats, his own thing. And Theo is a baby, he's 1. So he eats what we eat, but the amount that he eats is minuscule. So the rest though, the 8 people, yes, we do. When I do have 1 that's vegetarian, so then you got 7. So then there's 7 of us eating 4 chicken breasts. But you know what? There is so many other sides and things to go with it. That meat doesn't have to be that you eat this huge amount. You can eat a variety of foods and fill your plate still. And that's how my family eats. That's how they prefer to eat. With a big variety of food, little bits of each variety. And that's just how we eat. Every family is different. I love Jay Morrell. I love our Tribe of Many, and I watch them. They cook very differently. But if you watch them and the amount of food that they eat, the kids and I and Charles will sit there and go, oh my gosh, their hauls. Sometimes we think that would last us a year, not a month. Not everybody eats as much as they do. And then you can still be a big family. We are a big family. And that doesn't mean that you have to cook for the masses. But definitely we have known families personally that eat way more than we do. And they look at us and say, how can you eat that? And we look at them and say, how can you eat that? We physically cannot eat that much. So, just, my family is well taken care of. They're well fed. And, you don't need to worry about that when you see it and say it drives you nuts that I don't feed my family big enough portions or meals. Because they do. And they're all very healthy. The other thing that people will say is, how come the big people in the family then aren't contributing to the household? Charles and I both feel as parents, our job is to help our children out. The older kids that are living with us, well, Katie, yes, she has Theo, but she is going to school full time. And then I want her with her son. So I do take care of her. She will make a wonderful life for them. And that's my job, is to help her make a wonderful life for them. And then, the 2 older boys just got out of college. They're trying to get on their feet. So they're saving money so that they can get an apartment and they can move out. And they're trying to pay their college debt, their student loans, and get out of debt. So we want to help them. What better gift than to help them get on their feet so that they can not have a ton of debt? Because we do definitely know the importance of debt-free. So I just wanted to address those really quick before we get asked about that. So that pretty much sums it up. For the next 42 days, starting tomorrow, will be day 1 of this challenge. You will see us for 42 days straight. You will see food, recipes. If you're on the vlogging channel, you'll still see us over there vlogging with you guys. And that's it. That's what you're going to see. If you guys got any questions or comments down below, then let us know and we will try to answer them. And if you have suggestions, please always share them with us. You guys know I love a good recipe. I love good pointers and tips on how to, make things stretch even further. And I will see all of you tomorrow for day 1 of the 42-day challenge. Bye, everybody.